What's going on, guys? We got a pretty cool video for you today. We're going to find out what would happen if every single player in the NHL was on a one-year contract. I actually saw someone in 2K do this, King of the Fourth Quarter, and it turned out pretty cool, seeing where all the different players signed. So, obviously, a lot of the best players in the NHL right now are RFAs, Connor McDavid, Mitch Marner, guys like that. But could be curious to see whether or not they stay loyal. Maybe they sign an offer sheet. Same goes like the big name UFAs, Crosby, Ovechkin. Will they stay loyal to their team, or will they go out in free agency and get a bigger deal? Also curious to see what happens when every single team has the full salary cap at their disposal. How much they're going to pay superstars? Are they going to try and give a balanced team, or maybe just go all out on a few superstars, then just sign a bunch of cheap $1 million contracts for the rest of the team? Very curious to see what happens here. Even at the deadline, everyone's on one-year deals, so I feel like there's going to be a ton of action at the trade deadline. So as you guys can see here, I just went through and made every single player 1 year left. If they had an extension already, like say Clayton Keller, I just changed the extension to 0 years, which again makes it a 1 year deal. So I went through the entire NHL, every single NHL roster, forwards and goalies. Everyone's got 1 year left. Took 3 hours, maybe a bit longer, but hopefully it's worth it. Hopefully we get some cool results here. Now for this, guys, I'm going to have the computer handle everything, as I don't want to influence where certain free agents go. So it doesn't matter what team we are, I'll just be the Red Wings, my favorite team. Again, I feel like, if I'm going out making trades, that could affect where certain guys sign. But I don't want to affect it at all. So to do this, own mode turned off. Head coach edit lines, obviously we'll have that turned on. Same with auto staff management and auto sign free agents. Fog of war, player morale off. Computer trades, again, leaving that on. I want to see, how crazy the deadline gets. And for this, guys, I'm leaving the salary cap turned on. I thought about turning it off just to see how crazy some contracts get, but I felt like to keep it realistic, we'll keep it on there as well, too. I'm kind of curious to see how teams work with the salary cap when, the entire thing's available to them. As well, too, typically there is set to hard just to make it a bit more realistic trades. Again, I'm expecting a lot of action at the deadline, but we'll have to wait and see. And so I'm going to start the sim now, guys. If any big trades go down, I'll be sure to let you know. But the main thing we're looking forward to here is the summer to see what exactly goes down in free agency. And so our first big piece of news, guys, the St. Louis Blues firing their head coach after winning the Stanley Cup. We're in January now. No big trades have gone down. I've gotten some weird offers like third-round picks for third-round picks, so I'm not going to show you guys that. But really surprised, everyone on a one-year deal, like a team like us or Panthers there at the bottom of the division. Why are they not trading some guys as rentals? Could get some huge returns, especially let's say Foot was a trade. Barkov, who's got 1 year left, Huberdeau, somebody crazy who normally, is under contract, but hasn't happened yet. We'll see here in the next month or so as we get to the deadline if any teams make some big moves. Now the Sharks offered us a third and a fourth for a third and Gagne. Gagne's in the AHL, so I feel like I'll make the, choice there and accept that deal. Again, I think the computer takes care of everything, but they don't accept trades on your behalf, so I have to kind of do that myself. So here we go, finally trade Eric Stahl and Victor Rask and Brown to Calgary for 2 seconds. Stahl, it's a pretty big trade. I was hoping for, some bigger names here. Maybe they'll definitely go down with the draft and during the summer, but we got, a few more weeks here, see if something happens. Jonathan Quick for a third and a fourth. The Red Wings do need a goalie. That's a really cheap price as well for Jonathan Quick. I'm going to say yes. Why not mix it up? Again, it'll be up to the computer whether or not they actually re-sign Jonathan Quick. I'm sure a lot of teams have already also offered players extensions. And here we go, another trade going down. New Jersey gets Thomas Greiss for Nikita Gusev, third and a fourth. Obviously, the Devils could use a goalie. Here we go, another one. Colorado gets Ryan Murray and Nyquist from Columbus for Shane Bowers and a first-round pick. So, Bowers in a first is basically what Ottawa gave up for Duchesne plus Kyle Turris, and they flipped that for Ryan Murray and Nyquist. That's a pretty big addition there to Colorado. I'm hoping for something bigger. Jonas Brodin and Zuccarello both go to Buffalo for 2 first-round picks. Is Buffalo, they must be in a playoff spot, or they're just getting crazy here, giving up 2 firsts. I see that Buffalo is in a playoff spot, but they're a wildcard team, so pretty aggressive, I'd say, to be giving up 2 first-round picks. One thing I actually want to do right now is see what teams have already offered players extensions. I see that Detroit already has Bertuzzi there, $5 million, Hronek, $4 million, Fabry, $4 million as an 81. I don't know about that one. Let's just see Edmonton here. McDavid and Draisaitl, they haven't locked up yet. What are you doing? Florida hasn't locked up anyone. LA got Doughty locked up. $3 million cheaper. Same with Kopitar. So they're saving money. Wait a minute. How much? What? They got tons of money. Can't be. $8 million. So this is where we're going to get some weird contracts for sure. Weber still doesn't have an extension. Yossi, 8.3. So about $1 million shy what he got in real life. Hischier gets 8. That's only $800K more than real life. Jack Hughes gets 5.6 coming off his rookie deal. Only 1 year. Islanders haven't touched him. Rangers, I feel like they're going to get Panarin for cheaper than 11. Shabbat at 7.8, I think, basically exactly what he got in real life. Maybe $300K difference. Crosby, Malkin have not said yes. I feel like the UFAs are definitely a test free agency. Carlson, San Jose actually saves $3 million on him. St. Louis, Braden Shen, 6.5. Tampa Bay here has not touched any players. Same with Toronto. Maybe when you have like a bunch of big names, they don't want to like act too early, I guess, but like if you're a worse team, it's kind of easier. None of the other teams had signed extensions until I got to Columbus. They got Rowinski there, 7.5 for 3 years, but looks like a lot of teams are being cautious here, waiting their time, so it's going to be interesting free agency for sure. And one last trade just went through. Toronto got Justin Falk from the Blues for Nick Robertson, a second and a fourth, so just add another guy to their defense. Another one goes through here. Wow, I can't believe this. Your Rangers trade Zibanejad with DiGiuseppe for Jarmelson, a first, and Osterley. I don't like that trade at all for New York. All right, guys, the NHL season just ended. Larkin had 82 points, so averaged a point per game, which is awesome to see. Give you guys a quick look here at the playoff tree, and I'll just sim through it quickly. See when's the draft lottery, get to free agency. So in the West, I mean, there's a few teams that you wouldn't expect. Sharks, obviously not doing too great this year. Nashville could maybe squeak in, but I guess that's it. In the East, honestly, that's pretty good aside from Buffalo. And check this out, the New York Islanders are Stanley Cup champions. Honestly, pretty surprised by that. I think the only move they made was trading away Grice, so surprised they were able to, handle some of those bigger teams like Tampa and Boston, but good for them. LA wins the draft lottery, so they'll get Alexis Lafreniere. I can't believe they're getting rewarded for the contract they gave to Adrian Campy. Like, that's so dumb. Minnesota gets second with the Pittsburgh pick. Then St. Louis there drops to third. Minnesota lucking out huge there at the Zucker trade as they get Quentin Byfield from it. So we'll sim through the draft. Obviously, we kind of know what's going to happen there for the most part. Again, we just kind of want to see what goes on in this crazy free agency as well. I'm curious to see just everyone that kind of makes it to free agency. And before we get to free agency, I wanted to quickly show you the awards. And first, actually take a look at the playoff tree. As you can see, the Islanders actually beat the Avalanche there in 6 to win the Stanley Cups. Clearly, the trade they made for Murray and Nyquist definitely helped them out. Islanders went through Philly, Panthers, and Boston there before beating the Avalanche. So, like I was saying, take a look at the awards. Already know that. President's Trophy, Tampa Bay. Yeah, they had an unreal year. Stamkos, Art Ross. He also got the Hart. Hedman, James Norris. Feel bad for them, honestly. Lady Bingno, Carlson. Kako got the Calder. Barzell, Conn Smythe. Riddick, Vezina also got the William Jennings. Riddick does really well in terms of like low goals against in this. Alexiak, Masterton. Buffalo coach Jack Adams makes sense. They had no business being in the playoffs. Bergeron there gets the Selke. Stamkos also got Ted Lindsay. And then Ovi the Maurice Richard. Okay, so Ovi's a free agent. So is Stamkos. So is Hedman. Some reward winners there. Are they going to stay at their teams? Let's find out. And so we're a day away from free agency here, guys. As you can see, Bertuzzi's currently our leading goal scorer there. 69 points. Nice. As the GM has not been able to sign Larkin or Mantha, both of them don't want extensions, but obviously he's qualified them, so I think that's going to be the case with a lot of teams. Some big name RFAs are going to see how much they can get on the open market. Will someone give them an offer sheet or not? Already seen a few of the contracts that got signed, and teams are spending a lot of money. They have money, obviously, the entire salary cap is available to them, and it doesn't seem like, they're being too cheap with it. So the moment we've all been waiting for, finally at free agency here. I'm curious to see just everyone that's available. It should be insane. Wow, so Larkin's actually the #1 free agent, tied with Monahan there. Never mind, Ovechkin. Okay, so we got to sort it by overall. Pasternak made it. Let's take a look. I was thinking maybe Crosby or Malkin would be here, but I think Pittsburgh got both of them locked up. Provorov, Brent Burns is there, Tarasenko, and Pietrangelo. I guess St. Louis didn't do too good, fired their coach. Both those guys want out. Monahan, Ryan Suter, O'Reilly. So many St. Louis Blues are on the market. Phil Kessel. I actually saw Taylor Hall sign an extension with Arizona, so go figure. The guy that's going to be the big name free agent in real life actually extends. Ekman Larson, though, the captain, hits free agency. Ristolainen there, Giordano, Svechnikov. So I am curious to see how many of these RFAs actually, get offered on, as there's only so many first-round picks to go around, and there's a ton of them available, I'm sure. I feel like some of them are going to get paid, while others will probably hold out to the end of the summer and not get quite as much. You got Subban there, Voracek, Marchessault. I mean, it's pretty crazy, honestly. I was really hoping, a couple other big names like Crosby, Malkin would have made it through, but still, there's a ton of guys here. Definitely the NHL is going to be looking completely different after this free agency. I'll also take a look here at goalies. I assume some big names available. John Gibson, arguably one of the best ones. I can't believe Anaheim couldn't get him under contract. Pecorine, Ben Bishop, Tuukka Rask, Anderson, Binnington. So St. Louis lost the entire core of their team. I kind of feel bad for them, honestly. Holtby, Leonard there, Markstrom. Riddick's up to an 87. Again, he had the lowest goals against, so it makes sense he would grow that much. Crawford's there, Dubnyk. It looks like pretty much every goalie's here, except for Vasilevsky and I think a few of the younger guys. So pretty crazy. I guess we'll just kind of sim through the entire summer and then we'll take a look at every single team, what they look like, how much the guys got paid, and they'll probably do one more sim too to see like which new team wins the Stanley Cup. And check this out, Toronto's again making a trade with LA, this time signing them Kasperi Kapanen in a third for a second round pick and a prospect. I don't know why they did that trade. I assume they need some salary, you know, to get Marner and all them signed. Although they were in free agency, so they got signed. Maybe there's like a few other guys they need or just add some depth. And Boston just traded Senishin in a second for Soderberg in a fifth. I don't think I mentioned, but all like the prospects and AHL players remained under contract if they had contract left. I only did 1 year left for all the NHL rostered players. So if they're in junior, they're in AHL, they would stay with the team. Otherwise, it would just taken literally forever. So I'm just at the captains here. I have no idea if the Red Wings got Larkin and Mantha signed. Larkin's back, so is Mantha. They're giving Bertuzzi the C. I guess they're pissed off. Larkin and Mantha went to free agency. He's not wearing the C. Larkin's definitely wearing the C. Oh shit, look at this, guys. As I was saying the captaincy, I noticed we have Logan Couture now on the Red Wings. That's pretty awesome. Let's see, defense. We got Green, Schlemko in net. We got Grice. So I guess we lost quick. So much for that trade. Are we better? I would say we are better, but definitely with the money we had, all the free agents out there, team could have been better than that. But next year, I actually want to show you guys what all the teams are looking like. First thing I actually want to show you, though, is I noticed in free agency, a few guys still holding out. Buchnevich there, Montour, Gergensen, still RFAs, haven't come to contract terms yet with their teams. I think if you might have saw there in free agency, we actually still have like 17 million in cap space. So clearly, like they kept that rebuilder mindset and didn't want to spend to the cap max, even though they literally could have rebuilt their team. So we'll see if other current rebuilder teams kept that same mindset and are way under the cap. But as you can see here, Larkin got almost 10, so $4 million raise. Mantha 8.5. He does have 1 year left, so we'll see if that's what he gets. Couture there, 7 million is actually less than he's making right now. The rest of these guys, like Fabry got paid quite a bit. Hiroshi as well, 3.4. Perlini, 8.3 on a 1 year. Kind of like Campy, that is a weird contract. Maybe just to hit the salary cap floor, honestly, because it's a 1 year deal. So we'll see if other teams have some weird deals like that. McDavid, 1 year, 12.5, so they just gave him the same thing. They're trying to get him signed again for next year. They have an offer on him. Draisaitl obviously got a raise. JT Miller on the Oilers, same with PK Subban. Anthony Siu got 6. Nurse and Larson are still there. Puljujarvi comes back. Jaden Schwartz, 3.7 is a deal. Yamamoto's an 82 now. Ian Cole, Ruda, Benning. Okay, so this Edmonton team, Ethan Bear is there. They don't look too bad at all. Like Subban on the back end. JT Miller. Curious to see who they got in goal. Ben Bishop's Edmonton's goalie. Edmonton looks like a pretty dangerous team, not gonna lie. Looking at Florida next year, they look to be pretty much the same. They added Ghost Bear on D, Nichushkin, and that's about it. Bobrovsky there, still the starter. Jones the backup, so pretty good backup there. LA, Thomas Hertl, he kind of goes the enemy. Trocheck, Zucker, Kapanen. LA's adding quite a bit. Martinez still there. Strawman, Lafreniere, Anisimov. Okay, so this team's not too bad. Who they get in net? Mrazek's their starting goaltender. Alright, so looks like this definitely kind of even the playing field. Suter does return to Minnesota. Dumba, Spurgeon. Donato, there's the top forward. I don't know about that. Ooh, yeah, Minnesota is not looking too great. This created guy, though, 1883 medium elite. They took him over Byfield. He's a pretty good player, honestly. You can almost argue he's better than Lafreniere. Rene is the starting goalie now in Minnesota. Okay, so definitely going to be a weird year. Like, some crazy stuff could happen. Weber there still in Montreal. TJ Brody got added to the team. Manson, so they stock up on D. Spezza goes there. Nothing, you know, too crazy. Does Price stay on? Yeah, Price did stay with Montreal. Look at the contract, though. 6.5. So he almost got his salary cut in half. You can kind of see now who's underpaid, who's overpaid based on the new contract. Ovechkin leaves Washington for Nashville. Are you kidding me? Yossi's still there, and same with Ellis. Duchesne, Ekholm. This team is good. That Charlie Coyle there. Tyler Johnson, Jeff Carter, Zajac. Ooh, they got a lot of depth. Tolvaden's up to an 80. Marlowe, Shaw. Who's their goalie? Dubnyk. I like this Nashville team a lot. So far, I think Edmonton and Nashville are my two favorites. Provorov ended up going to New Jersey. They gave him the offer sheet. 10.6. O'Reilly. Okay. This team doesn't look too bad. Who's their goalie? Tuukka Rask. And Black was an 84 backup. I like that team as well. Taking a look at the defending Stanley Cup champions next year. So they had Brent Burns, which is insane. I feel like being the Stanley Cup champion, they probably could have gotten some more free agents. They get Gustafsson there, Matt Niskanen, Niederreiter. Alright, Brandon Saad, Brian Rust. Wallstrom's up to an 83. Wow, he had a crazy year. Stepham there. Okay, I'm curious who their goalie is. Jacob Markstrom and Corey Crawford. Islanders team is nice. I mean, honestly, no team so far has been too bad. I think ours is probably the worst. Panarin stays with the Rangers. Takes like $2 million off. Henrico's there. Not a lot else really. It's kind of depth guys. Goaltending, they keep Lundqvist, Georgiev. I'm guessing Shishirkin's in the AHL. Ottawa gets Ekman Larson. Him and Shabbat's an insane top pair. Zibanejad goes back to Ottawa. Love seeing that. 8.8. Tierney's an 85 now. You got Kachuk there. Yanni Gord as well on Ottawa. Okay. Zuccarello went with Ottawa. So, again, these teams, I'm not sure about that goalie. Ullmark is a starter. Philly, we know, lost a lot. Provorov, Ghost-Bear. They got Ryan Murray and Muzzin, though. Clefbaum, Letty. So that's actually not too bad. Ferry's an 84. Crazy year for him. Did they bring anybody else in? Nolan Patrick's down 84. Not really. So just kind of the defense to replace theirs. Hart's an 88. So I think they'll be fine. Pittsburgh keeps Crosby, keeps Malkin, and signs Tarasenko. Okay. This doesn't even seem fair. They still have Gensel as well. Letang. They also got Jarmelson, who got sent to New York in the Zibanejad trade. So New York really didn't make out well there at all. Pavelski signed with them, and Edward Vlasic. TJ Oshie. Chason. What is this team? If they have a goalie, Matt Murray 87. This team is stacked. This is the... Just run that 3 as a top 3. Letang, Jarmelson, Edward Vlasic, Pavelski. This Pittsburgh team is insane. They're definitely like my #1 favorite so far. Sharks here get Nuge, Brodin, Palat, Tanev, Granlund, Gusev, Hala. So a lot of change. Kevin Hayes. Goalie there, John Gibson. They have one of the best goalies. I don't know about the depth though. Duncan Keith on St. Louis. Them firing their coach, not doing well, definitely hurt. You can kind of see it here. They get Edler, Thornton, Turris. Definitely not the big name guys. Varlamov, they lost Bennington. Tampa Bay, Kucherov, Hedman, Stamkos. They kept everybody, it looks like. They lost some guys, like some depth, like Johnson, Killorn, Palat. Brought in some cheaper guys. Vasilevsky's still in net. Tampa Bay should be okay. Same with Toronto. They keep Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander. Riley Berry's still there. Who'd they bring in? Anybody? Honestly, doesn't look like they really had enough money to bring anybody in. How much do those guys get paid? So Matthews and Marner about what they're getting paid. Same with Tavares. Nylander got a bit of a raise actually. Koskinen's a starter in Toronto. 72 backup. Could be a yikes. Pietrangelo goes to Vancouver. Him and Hughes is nasty. Riley Smith. They lose some depth. Riddick and Kemper. Some teams get like 2 sick goalies. Other teams have a 72 backup. Don't know how that works out. Voracek goes to Vegas. Dylan. I think that's about it. They got DeHaan and Ceci as well, but nothing too crazy. Fleury stays a starter. Washington obviously lost Ovechkin, replaced him with Hoffman and Arvidsson and Hyman, so not too bad. They lost Oshie as well, though. Bringing Sprong there. Let's see. Samsonov's a new starter, 86, so he had a solid year behind Holtby. I didn't really see any Winnipeg free agents, and yeah, like they're pretty much whole cores stayed the same. In this, Buffalo does return to the NHL. Jordan Stahl there, Filppula, Connor Sherry. Goaltending-wise, Hellbeck did stay. Comrie's backing him up. So yeah, Winnipeg pretty much stayed the same. Anaheim gets Giordano there. Perron back on Anaheim. Krejci, Shea, Stastny. Okay, Backlund, Hornqvist. Anaheim making some moves. Jake Allen, though, and Jimmy Howard. I don't like that. Going from John Gibson to that's tough. Chikrin got 7.4. Hall got 9. I feel like if he goes to free agency, he's getting 10+. So that's definitely interesting. They get Neil, Kovalchuk. Okay, they get Nate Schmidt. Goaltending. Ranta's a starter now. So they'll be okay, I think. Boston. They did keep Pasternak, even though he was available in free agency for a bit. Ryan Johansson goes to Boston. Okay. Rest of the team pretty much the same. Grubauer's their starter. Definitely, obviously, a downgrade from Rask. Buffalo here. So the core's still there. They add Fowler. Millstats up to an 83. Dylan Cousins, 81. Pretty much added Fowler. And they got Jordan Bennington. That's a huge upgrade for sure. So they already made the playoffs somehow last year. They look even better. Calgary, most of the core is the same except for Giordano being gone. Stahl, they did resign. They got Atkinson, Parise. Some nice pickups. Goaltending, Halak. So another team where skaters are good, goaltending not so good. Carolina looks to be pretty much the same. They had Kadri. That's about it. Goaltending, Leonard's the new starter. I'd say that's an upgrade for sure. Chicago gets Jonathan Quick. I don't know about that one. DeBrincat way up there in rating. Falk, Raquel. I'm surprised he leaves Anaheim. Chara as well. How's he going to leave Boston? Are you kidding me? The captain. Let's see. Strom didn't grow at all. That's kind of interesting. They added Lars Eller there. So Chicago, I think, is about the same. Next, you're looking at Colorado. McKinnon's a 96, so he's tied with McDavid. That's insane. Also, too, got a $3 million raise. We knew he was underpaid already. Ranta and Landeskog, they're all making 9+. Ranson actually got paid more than McKinnon somehow, but 100K more. But that top line making, what is that? Basically 30 million is ridiculous. McCarr gets 8.5. That shows you how good he is. He's on an entry-level deal right now, and he's worth 8.5 million. They got Petrie there. Let's see. Byron's up to an 82. Bouwmeester, not much else. I mean, your top line makes 30 million. It's going to be tough. They get Freddie Anderson, though. So, Colorado, I like them for sure. Columbus, Killorn, Kreider, Silverberg, just adding depth. Thomas Vanek actually goes back. Keep their same goalies. I think it's the last team now, Dallas. So the core is still there. And they added Craig Smith, Frolik, Nyquist, Boychuk, not a lot. And then goalies, they get Holtby. So that is a pretty good replacement for Ben Bishop. Again, looking through all those teams, the one that definitely stood out to me the most, I think there were some solid teams, is the Pittsburgh Penguins. That team is ridiculous. I actually want to look at the lines right now because the team is that good. Like I said, though, guys, we'll just sim the rest of the season, see who wins the cup with these new teams. My money's on Pittsburgh. Look at that top six. I mean, the bottom six isn't the greatest. They have a 74 there, but they'll be okay. Defensively, I guess, yeah, they don't have a lot of depth, but still, that team with Murray and Jerry still in net as well, they're going to be tough to beat. And we just had our first big trade go down. Elliott, New Jersey with 2 fourths and a fifth in exchange for McLeod. Clearly, New Jersey's actually, turned it around here. Chicago, not doing too great. Another big trade going down. Philadelphia gets Parise in a third in exchange for Lawton, Doyle, a second, a third. So I guess, some teams made some big signings, didn't work out. They're figuring time to make trades at the deadline here. We're actually only 6 points back, so 3 wins out of a wildcard spot, 500. I don't think it's going to happen, but this team's definitely doing a bit better than I expected. And LA just traded Strawman McQuaid in a third for a first-round pick and a third from the Winnipeg Jets. So clearly, they got first overall last year. They're getting a first-round pick. I feel like they're probably not doing too great. And yeah, it's a fire sale in LA. They just traded Zucker and Hagelin to Columbus for a second and a third. So, I mean, I'm curious if Lafreniere is going to win the Calder or not, because there's that creative player who's an 83 already. I feel like it might be him, but a couple days away from the deadline here. Really no too crazy trades, especially during the summer, too. Like, with everyone on an expiring deal, I thought a lot more teams would be kind of aggressive and try and flip guys for big-name prospects and picks, but it didn't really happen. Another big trade going down. Nashville getting Brian Little for a first, second-round pick. I'm trying to remember the Nashville team. I know they kept Yossi. I know they added like a couple nice players. I think was it Ovechkin's who they added. So yeah, obviously Ovi's team's gonna be doing well. They just added Brian Little there, so they're making a run at it. But we just went through the deadline, so no more trades can happen, unfortunately. Now we'll just see who ends up winning the cup. And we're now at the end of the season here, guys. Unfortunately, we've actually finished last in the division. I figured I'd just kind of show you how the standings worked out. Maple Leafs won the division, 122 points. They crushed it. Lightning there second. So it looks like those teams kept their core, but they lost a ton of depth. Still did quite well. The Central, the Jets actually won it there. Predators second. Avalanche, Blackhawks snuck in. The Canucks, Coyotes, Flames, and Ducks. I thought the Oilers for sure would have been in the playoff. Bringing on Subban, Bishop, and net, but I guess not. And the Devils actually won the Metro. I thought for sure that'd be the Penguins, but only 4 shy there. Islanders, the Stanley Cup champs, back in the playoffs. Also, you got the Hurricanes and the Flyers. And Toronto's 122 points was good enough for the President's Trophy. Winnipeg next closest there at 110. I just want to see like who finished last in the entire league. I think it's probably going to be LA. Or actually, LA's 26th there. It's St. Louis, so that should have made sense. They lost like their entire core. Tarasenko, O'Reilly, Pietrangelo, Binnington. They lost it all. And the Rangers there, second last. I didn't like the Zibanejad trade for them at all. Dallas, I'm kind of surprised, honestly, was there because they kept most of their team. I think they brought in Holtby to replace Bishop, so that's definitely a weird one. And check this out, guys. Our prediction was right. The Pittsburgh Penguins in the Stanley Cup final right now up against the Colorado Avalanche. Avalanche made it last year, but unfortunately lost to the Islanders, so they're back for revenge. I felt like the Penguins were the #1 team on paper, so we'll see who's better here. Obviously, the Avalanche have that $30 million first line. Will it be enough? This should be a good one for sure. Doesn't look like it's updating it game by game, unfortunately, so... And there you go. Our prediction was right. The Pittsburgh Penguins win the Stanley Cup. I feel bad for Avalanche fans. Back-to-back years losing the Cup final. But what are you going to do? That Pittsburgh team was just 2-2 stacked. So I'll take a look at the awards now. And first, guys, I want to show the playoff tree. So Penguins beat the defending Stanley Cup champion Islanders in 7. Swept the Hurricanes. Leafs in 6. Avalanche there beat the Preds in 7. So that's Ovi's team. Jets in 6. Then sweep the Coyotes before losing the Penguins there in 5. Honestly, I thought that would have been 6 or 7 game series. Take a look at the awards now. So, kind of went down as we expected. Liney there got the Art Ross, though. I didn't know that. I didn't see. I might have to take a look and see how many points he had. Shifley Hart, so Winnipeg guys went off. Morgan Riley gets the James Norris. Austin Matthews, Lady Bing, so big year for the Leafs. Hiroshi gets the Calder. Love to see that. I have him in the AHL last season, so he still counted as a rookie. Can't believe he stole it from Lafreniere. Crosby there, Conn Smythe. Koskinen gets the Vezina on the Leafs. I was saying how I didn't think that was a great starter. Prove me wrong. You also got the William Jennings. They had like they had Riley, Barry, then I think like Sandin, Liljegren, and a couple of random dudes. Doughty there, Bill Masterton. Anaheim coach got the Jack Adams. Bergeron back-to-back years getting the Selke. Scheifele also got Ted Lindsay, and then Matthews there, Maurice Richard. So pretty much was just the year of the Leafs and the Jets in terms of like the player awards. Crosby getting the Conn Smythe. That's his third, I think. So pretty impressive, I'd say. Hiroshi, 44 points. You're telling me Lafreniere couldn't put up 44 points on the Kings? I'm actually really surprised by that. 35. Wow. He better do better than that in his rookie year in real life on the Red Wings. I know he will. He's going to put up at least 50. And so Laine, 104. Not bad at all. Scheifele there, 103. So yeah, the Winnipeg guys, Toronto, Ovechkin still puts up 100 even on the Predators. What's kind of crazy, actually, I just went through every single player at the top of this list, and Ovechkin's the only one on a new team playing for the Predators. I feel like at least a couple of these guys, like Tavares, maybe Landeskog, would get some money somewhere else, but apparently not. The next best player went to a different team after Ovechkin. Voracek had to go all the way down there to 85 points. So it does show, I mean, at least in this, most of the superstars are loyal. They stay with their teams. I think honestly the most interesting thing was probably some of the contracts that got signed. Like Perlini, 8 mil, Campy, 8 mil. A lot of the goalies got paid a lot less than they should have. Like Bobrovsky, Price, pretty much got their contracts cut in half. A lot of guys who you knew were underpaid right now got huge raises, like McCarr, entry level, but worth $8.5 million. That's why it kind of shows you why entry levels are so important. But definitely a cool experiment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun with it. Again, it took forever to change everybody to a one-year contract, so I'm glad we actually got some cool results from it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.